Hello?
It's Shirosaki. Are you in Yokohama again, Yagami-san?
Yeah. Is this about Ehara's trial?
Yes, regarding the appeal. The prosecution says they want to consult with us. Off the record.
Off the record? What do you mean?
They want to discuss with the judge beforehand whether or not Ehara's murder footage is admissible evidence. The video has gone viral, of course, and nobody's really sure how to handle it.
Is the prosecution really gonna hold the line on it being a deepfake?
That's quite possible, which is why we're meeting today in the courthouse conference room. I'm sorry for the short notice, but could you join us?
Of course. I'll be there.
Thank you very much. No need to rush, there's still plenty of time. Just be sure you're there, please.
Okay, ich wollte gerade sagen, das hat sich schon wieder so ein bisschen angehört von wegen, ja, vertreibe dir ein wenig die Zeit in der Stadt. Und ganz ehrlich, nein. Bloß, was sollen wir jetzt großartig da? Wir werden wahrscheinlich dann, naja, das Zünglein wieder an der Waage sein. So mit unserer Wortgewandtheit. Denke ich jetzt einfach mal.
So what you're saying is, Yui Mamiya was not a victim of sexual battery, but rather she conspired with Akihiro Ehara to fake a murder alibi. We've already closed the book on that ordeal, yet now the defense wants to write a sequel?
To establish the defendant's motive in the harassment, we need to bring the Mikoshiba murder to light. The groping itself was staged. It was all part of their script, right down to the guilty verdict.
It sounds like the defendant has some strong hostility for the court.
Ehara got the court to accept his murder alibi by twisting the legal process to his own ends. It was easy to miss, because at the time, Mikoshiba's body hadn't been found yet. But we have to admit that we all got duped.
We? You're not even a lawyer. You're a detective.
Yagami-sensei still has a license to practice.
Forget what I said if it offended you, prosecutor.
My superiors always told me that in his youth, your Genda-sensei was a difficult man. He'd insist his clients were innocent, persisting even in the face of conviction. He was hostile to the prosecution, and was known to fraternize with Kamurocho Yakuza. But it was his sheer disrespect that made my boss hate him.
Damn. You sure know an awful lot about Genda-sensei.
Because I honestly can't say I like him. He treated me like a child when I was starting out.
I'll tell you this, there's no higher praise for the defense than being called difficult by the prosecution.
Now, if we can get back on track, can we confirm the defendant himself has agreed to the appeal?
Yes.
But if Ehara really committed the murder, why would he agree to his alibi being scrutinized?
Ehara's objective isn't to get away with murder.
Then what is he after?
Making a mockery of the legal system.
Then it'd be best not to pay him any attention.
And you'd be right. If your priority is saving face in front of the court rather than preserving fairness in the law.
You've got a real attitude.
Sorry I'm a bit late.
So, with this appeal, the defense wants to assert the defendant's innocence by establishing his guilt in a murder.
Wait, before we go on, who is this?
He's from the Metropolitan Police. Considering Ehara was on the force, he has a vested interest here. He's not here to participate, don't worry.
The police can't afford to be embarrassed any further. We need to send the right message to the public.
Can we have your name, please?
The name is Bando.
And your title?
Think of me as a kind of police coordinator. But don't let me interrupt the proceedings. Forget I'm even here. Please, continue.
So much for this meeting being off the record.
Allow me to restate the prosecution's opinion to the judge. We cannot allow the murder footage to be used as new evidence in Akihiro Ehara's appeal. It's nothing but an online hoax of unknown origin. We can't just casually introduce that into court.
Indeed.
Furthermore, if Ehara bears such hostility towards the court, the footage might end up being a trap.
Trap?
Yes. What if the next viral video proves the original footage was doctored? What if the proceedings have already begun by then? Do we drop the appeal and call it a day? We cannot allow a man like Ehara to swing the court around by its nose at his whims. With that in mind, I believe Ehara's conviction should be upheld and enforced. Would the defense care to comment? Did you think any of this through before filing this appeal?
Yes. We aim to prove the defendant's innocence, no matter what your objections may be.
And what about you?
Ehara has to atone for Mikoshiba's murder. I can't look the other way while a killer evades his sentence.
Come now. Is that why you're appealing? If so, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yagami-san, I understand how you feel, but being innocent of sexual battery isn't guilt for Mikoshiba's murder.
What? What?
We're only appealing the groping case here, so...
Oh, right. Then,
What is this nonsense?
we will prove Ehara's innocent of sexual battery. We have all the evidence we need.
You mean the murder video? You're no better than the public. You believe everything you read online. Is there any real proof that the video isn't fake? Or are you trying to set a precedent for court sentences to hinge on dubious videos?
True, the prosecution might have a point here, Yagami-san.
What? What?
The murder footage may not have shown Ehara-san assaulting anyone, but that alone doesn't prove him innocent.
Oh, right.
What is this nonsense?
Ehara's guilty verdict was wrong. We don't think there was enough evidence at the first trial to result in that verdict.
There was fiber from the victim's underwear found on Ehara's hand.
That was a trick. It was set up with cooperation from the victim.
There is no evidence it was a trick. Are you saying Yui Mamiya and Ehara met beforehand? Is that? Was there perhaps any security footage we didn't see?
No, the station erases the footage from their cameras after a few days if there's no need to keep it.
Right. But if there's even a chance Ehara and Mamiya were a team, the underwear fiber proves nothing. What were the other deciding factors? Security footage? The smartphone videos we kept seeing on TV? Those don't prove the crime either, because there was a huge time gap in them.
What?
We've done enough legwork to know. Did you walk around the site with your own 2 feet, prosecutor?
Well, no. But I have been to Shinjuku Station plenty of times.
Then you must know they have a mountain of security cameras covering every angle. But if you went there to look carefully, you'd find there are some blind spots. That's Ehara running, while Mamiya chases after him. It seems as though the whole chase is recorded, but this area in dotted lines is a blind spot no camera saw. That's the momentary gap in time where Ehara and his double switched places.
The victim was running right behind Ehara. She would have noticed if they swapped places right in front of her eyes.
Oh, but she knew about the swap all along. They were all in on it from the start.
Can you prove that?
We don't have to prove the defendant is innocent, Takano-san.
What?
All we have to prove is that the evidence provided by the prosecution at the trial was insufficient to determine guilt. Because that's the role of the defense counsel.
Indeed it is.
If the prosecution can't debunk any and all possibility that the train groping was a put-up job, and it's innocent until proven guilty.
Then the defense should have brought it up the first time. Although I doubt Shirosaki-sensei actually believed in the defendant's innocence herself.
The guilty verdict at the trial was orchestrated by the defendant. It was our error not to have seen it at the time, but it would be another not to correct ourselves now.
Stop being so dramatic. He's just a subway perv.
That is a statement I cannot abide. The law can't give the impression that a false charge is permissible, even for a subway perv.
Right. I take that back. I misspoke.
I do believe this case is worth a trial in the appeal court. If the court was misled by a hostile defendant, then only the court can correct it.
Thank you very much.
However, I too have seen Ehara-san's murder footage. I believe it would be difficult to introduce it as evidence in this trial. Therefore, I cannot allow it to be brought into the courtroom at this time.
Sorry, son. Think you got this covered?
Huh?
I'll poke my head in at the office later.
Very well, we'll be expecting you.
Bando-san, was it? From public security?
I don't recall saying my department. But yeah, that's right.
Do you know Reiko Kusamoto? The vice minister at the Ministry of Health?
Of course.
Any particular reason she's under constant surveillance?
A rather bold question, isn't it?
It's just you and me here.
I see you know how to cut to the chase, Yagami-sensei.
Ehara's trial can't be that important to you. So I have to figure I'm the reason you showed up. You want to know where Kawana is, don't you? Were you finally forced to get off your ass because nobody else can get eyes on him?
Kawana, otherwise known as Yuki Takata, is wanted on suspicion of murder. If you know where he is, please do tell.
Wanted for murder? Huh. Because you know, I thought it was RK acting on your orders that killed Sawa-sensei. You think you can hide that fact forever? Even the cops in the field have their suspicions.
Do they? Well, the cubicle workers always resent the corner offices. Officers in the field complain about their superiors. I did the same thing back in my day.
Then why did you use thugs as your pawns instead of officers? Is that how Sawa-sensei got roped into this?
I'm afraid I'm not following.
You knew it was going to be a dirty job from the beginning. That's why you couldn't use anybody on the force. Or maybe you just weren't able to find an underling you could fully trust.
That's a good one.
Public security's only tricks are surveillance and call tracing. You leave the dirty work to the thugs.
That may be true, but it's enough to crush the likes of you.
I'm gonna ask just in case. Where is Soma now?
Hand over Kawana to me and there will be no more victims.
What?
Do you have a reason to protect him? I already know he's going around executing bullies. He's a disturbance to public order.
But he wasn't the one who killed Sawa-sensei.
I didn't come here to argue. I came to issue an ultimatum.
Plane die nächsten Schritte von unserem Büro aus, oder? Wo muss ich denn hier hin? Ach nee, zur Dings. Ja. Machen wir natürlich liebend gerne. Aber wie? Ich meine, er droht uns ja jetzt mehr oder weniger selbst damit uns auszuschalten. Zumindest habe ich so verstanden, ne? Im Unterton. Ne? Er hat es nicht direkt gesagt, wäre auch ein bisschen dumm von ihm. Aber ihr wisst, was ich meine. Okay, ich wollte gerade sagen, wann werden sie mich denn mal erwischen? Guten Tag. Ich mache das jetzt eigentlich auch nur, weil ich dann noch eine Fressbude gesehen habe, die wir vielleicht ausräumen können. Das heißt aber, ich sollte euch vielleicht doch mal... Die ziehen mir ja kaum was ab. Schlag noch mal zu. Oh, ich weiß noch, wo ich im ersten Teil das gesammelt habe. Guck dir das doch mal an, Alter. Das war halt jedes Mal rauslatschen, wieder einsuchen, weil die machen halt echt keinen Schaden. Das ist ja... Obwohl wir hier noch dickere Brocken haben. Aber es ist... Halt furchtbare Lappen im Gegensatz zu uns. Na, guck mal, da haben wir ja noch welche. Warte mal, vielleicht schaffen wir es... Na, nee, doch nicht. Ich wollte gerade sagen, erst noch was zu futtern. Hat er mich irgendwie erwischt? Also ist jetzt ja nicht schlimm, wisst ihr? Weil ich kann ja ein bisschen mehr essen, aber... Ich wüsste halt nicht. Haha. Ach, der war das. Gut, im ersten Teil hatten die, glaube ich, auch keine Pistolen. Deswegen, easy. Hochwertiges Plastik, juhu. Und da geht meine Futterstation schon auf, ne? Ich weiß halt nur nicht, ob wir schon hier waren. Guten Tag. Hatten wir hier schon alles? Wir hatten hier noch gar nichts, ne? Aber es ist halt alles, ja, je teurer, desto mehr... hallo? Was war jetzt das günstigste? Hier. Kleine Suppe und noch was Teures. Hier. Eine Schicht.
Starved. It's pretty tasty. Thanks.
Habe ich halt während des Spiels eigentlich komplett vergessen, schon wieder, obwohl ich das halt von Anfang an nicht machen wollte. Naja, egal, was soll's. Da sind ja noch ein paar Herrschaften, die gerne was auf die Mütze haben wollen. Ah, toll. Guten Tag, ihr Arschlöcher. Obwohl sich das halt mit der Waffe doch für mich zumindest für später als sehr gut herausstellen könnte. Weil so ziehen sie mir doch mal mehr ab. Selbst damit machen die nicht viel Schaden, also. Ach, da ist ja sogar noch einer. Aua. So, tschüss. Aber dass wir mittlerweile 1400 SP für so einen Quark kriegen, ne? Das ist auch krass. So, ich möchte fast behaupten, vor Gendas Dings war eigentlich noch, aua. Oh, Leute. Nee, war doch nicht. Aber da hinten haben wir noch ein kleines Restaurant, was wir noch nicht besucht haben. Ich bin mir halt nicht sicher, ob wir das nur in Injincho machen müssen oder ob wir auch hier futtern müssen. Aber ich meine, wenn wir schon mal hier sind... was hier? Kleiner Backshop. Also sieht zumindest wie ein kleiner Backshop aus. So, guten Tag. Was? Ach, Burgerladen. Okay, ein kleiner Salat. Ja, dann bleibt ja auch schon nicht mehr viel. Ich war schon mal hier. Hihi. Ja, gut. Dann. Ja, ich weiß. Sweetie Burger.
Thanks.
Schlimm ist, jetzt kriege ich auch Hunger auf den Burger. Fuck. Okay, zurück zur Anwaltskanzlei. Halt, hier lang. Und unsere nächsten Schritte planen. Wie auch immer die aussehen mögen. Okay, die haben keinen Bock, aber die haben Bock. Ich wollte gerade sagen, das ist ein bisschen sehr auffällig, kurz nach unserem Gespräch hier so eine Flitzpiepen zu schicken, oder? Ups. Den habe ich wohl noch mit einem kleinen Finger beim Rückwärtssalto erwischt. Ach, jetzt habt ihr auch mal. Na. Wo ich das Gefühl habe, dass dann noch mehr kommen. Also, dass das nicht alles sein wird. Wieder mit dem kleinen Finger. Easy peasy. Genau. Wisst ihr, was wir da zur Feier des Tages nochmal machen? Oh. Guck. Okay, den hätte ich vielleicht nicht gleich umbringen sollen. Der hat mir einen Arschtritt verpasst, hast du gesehen? Okay, die ziehen mir halt echt zu wenig ab. Das ist schon fast lächerlich. Ich mach's auch bloß für die SP. In der Hoffnung, dass wir vielleicht im regulären Spiel noch die Dings hinkriegen. Die anderen 80.000, das ist, glaube ich, das, was am teuersten ist, weg. Ja, guten Tag. Ich war zwar gerade eben schon mal hier, aber ich hätte noch mal Bock hier auf so ein King Smiley. Den hatten wir, glaube ich, noch nicht.
Star, pretty tasty. Thanks.
Jo, ist super. Jo, danke dir. So, jetzt aber wirklich mal zurück zu Dings, ne? Also so richtig. Außer da kommen jetzt zwar noch ein paar Herrschaften. Dann können wir vielleicht noch mal einen Burger essen gehen. Aber ansonsten, so, sollte es doch das jetzt gewesen sein. Guten Tag. Oh, guten Tag.
Yagami-san, was everything okay back there? That man, Bondo, I knew something was off about him. Is he one of the men behind RK?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He was trying to find out where Kawana was.
I see. That reminds me. Hoshino-kun seems to have heard some rumors about RK.
Okay, und was hast du?
Did you pick up what the word is on RK?
Yeah. One of the bosses, Akutsu, came back to Kamurocho yesterday.
He's back?
He's number 2 in the group, isn't he?
Yeah, so he would probably know about Soma. Know where he is?
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, Yagami-san, but RK owns some of the cabaret clubs in Kamurocho. And Akutsu manages them. If a girl makes a lot of sales, or if she becomes a rising star in the club, Akutsu apparently gives that girl a bonus. Personally.
How do you know this stuff, Hoshino-kun?
Our clients come from all walks of life in Kamurocho, cabaret girls included.
So to sum it all up, a popular girl has a chance to meet Akutsu?
Yeah, but this week nobody was getting that chance. Until yesterday. Which is how I figured out Akutsu is back in Kamurocho. He must have been in Yokohama.
Oh, well, that makes sense. But where exactly in Kamurocho is he?
That's the part I don't know. RK bosses never sleep in the same place twice. Gotta keep the cops off their trail.
But despite the risk, Akutsu still reaches out to popular girls.
Hey, I'm not even mad. In fact, I'm up for the challenge.
Awesome, Saori-san. If you can rock the cabaret gig again, you can hook Akutsu.
It'd be an undercover mission to infiltrate RK. Super risky. Damn if I don't want to see Saori-san transform one more time! I can't help it!
What the hell's gotten into you?
Are there any bars we know for sure that RK owns?
There is. You remember Queen Rouge, the place Saori-san snuck into a long time ago? RK recently took over the management there.
Queen Rouge. What about the owner? Still the same guy?
Yep, he's still there. One of the original employees. Only thing is, it used to be a classy spot, but they've cut a lot of corners. The vibe has probably changed a lot.
Really? Well, maybe that means I can afford to go.
Hey, totally! I want to go too.
This is no time to be idiots.
Okay, well, Saori-san, you'll need the whole makeover again. I can take point on that.
No need, I'll be fine.
Huh?
Just the other day, Mari-san and I figured out what kind of makeup goes over well with RK. I'll just go with that.
With Mari? Well, counterpoint, I think a man might know better what men like.
With all due respect, don't judge what you haven't seen.
Oh, Really? Okay, I'll leave it to you, Saori-san. Should have just kept my mouth shut.
Believe me, I'm not one to boast, but I'm confident my efforts are in the best interest of the mission.
That's the spirit. With Saori-kun here, Genda Law will have its doors open for another 20 years.
True. And we've got Yagami-san's wisdom, too.
Alright, should we get on with the mission?
Let's do this.
Ich muss mich hier wo soll ich denn Vorbereitungen treffen? Okay, wir gehen mal rein, aber bin ich komplett vorbereitet? Ich bin mir nicht sicher, was für... Ich kann nicht... Hä? Was ist denn für Vorbereitung, Mann? Oh, warte mal. Da hat jemand das fallen lassen. Warte. Erstmal den fallen gelassenen Gegenstand. Das hat vielleicht jemand verloren. Kann ich das jetzt machen oder gehen die mir auf den Sack? Die scheinen mir nicht auf den Sack zu gehen. Okay, die scheinen mir doch auf den Sack zu gehen. Mann, ich suche hier jemanden, der hat das verloren. Verpisst euch. Ihr habt damit nichts zu tun. So. Das Ding ist, ich glaube, hätte ich anders gewählt, aber ich wollte halt in ihrem Sinne wählen, also für Saori-san. Ich glaube, dann hätten wir nochmal uns umschminken können. Oder sie umschminken können. Genau, da ist er richtig. So, wo ist denn jetzt die Person, die hier was fallen gelassen hat? Ah, da hinten. Suchen Sie was. Grüße. Gerade gefunden. Handtasche. Jo, danke für den Kackteller. Brauche ich zwar nicht, aber okay. Wir gehen einfach rein. Keine Ahnung, was der mit Vorbereitung meint. Rein da. Ich glaube, ich bin vorbereitet. Ich bin bereit. Jetzt muss ich nur noch auf Saori reiten. Ja, dann go.
Oh, wow. That is nice.
You can thank Mari-san.
It's perfect. I'm really impressed.
Fine. Well then, shall we head over to Queen Bruges?
Oh, while you were doing your makeup, I talked to the owner about you coming in. Like Hoshino-kun said, there's apparently a system in place where a girl with great sales potential gets the attention of Akitsu.
I understand. Basically, I just have to aim to be #1 at the bar, right?
How confident are you?
I can't make any guarantees, but I'll give it my all.
Then I'm with you all the way, a lady. Something happened?
Sieht es trotzdem irgendwie nicht so wirklich überzeugt aus, aber was ich meine, hier geht's, aber irgendwie in der Cutscene, ich weiß nicht, was die Japaner haben, dass die Titten immer so rausquillen müssen. Ich meine ja nur. Ach, lol! Ach, ich bin jetzt davon ausgegangen, dass ich mit Yagami latsche. Och, nee. Ist das weit? Okay, das ist eigentlich gleich um die Ecke, aber ich kann halt mit ihr nicht schnell machen. Gut, ist mit den Botten vielleicht auch ein bisschen ungünstig. Aber Yagami kommt mit. Es ist halt ein bisschen seltsam, dass er jetzt an unserer Seite hinter uns latscht, ne? Und nicht irgendein NPC. Aber gut, falls irgendwas passiert, ist er wenigstens da. Diese Mucke immer noch, ne? Vom ersten Teil. Ich weiß gar nicht, ich glaube, in dem Schuppen waren wir halt auch drin gewesen. Da passierten, glaube ich, im ersten Teil auch Morde. Oder zumindest einer. So, wir latschen. Ja, das ist sehr spannend. Blip, 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 blip. Der läuft auch ein bisschen steif, oder? Naja, gut. Bin ich vorbeigelaufen? Nee, warte mal. Wo ist denn hier der Eingang? Hier ist der Eingang.
I pass by this place sometimes, but it's been a...
The owner remembered you from last time. Said he wished you were there every night instead of just one.
The undercover cabaret girl of his dreams returns.
Oh, take this before you go. It's a wireless earpiece. If you end up going somewhere with Akatsu, we can use it to communicate. I'll be there in a flash if things go even remotely south.
Got it. I know you have my back, Yagami-san.
You bet. Good luck then.